Hi guys, how we doing? Welcome back to the Free Hammers podcast. Wow, this is going to be a good one. So usually we do try very, very difficult, but we do try very hard not to swear on this show. You know, this is a family show. You know, want everyone to be able to watch. So we don't really swear or anything like that. Just a warning, if you've got kids, you do normally let them watch it, and you don't want them to hear that kind of thing. You might not want to let them watch this show because this ain't going to be edited. There's too much that I need to say, and I'm not going to filter it. I'm not going to filter myself. I'm not going to filter it down. So, yeah, be warned, there is going to be bad language in this show. But, yeah, anyway, I'm here, as always, with Luke. How we doing, mate? You all right?
Yeah, I'm great, mate. I know you've been sort of fuming since the news leaked. We haven't had a real chance to talk about it because obviously you've literally just come from work and we decided, do you know what, we are going to bang a podcast out. We was a bit touch and go, but this news was just, you know, it's too much to not comment on as a supposed West Ham fan or not a real West Ham fan if you don't agree with these certain things. Like, we made it quite clear the last show that we were balled out and we agreed with all the opinions of the real West Ham fan group, and we was like, I was happy. I'm going the Burnley game next week, and I was happy to get down there at 11 o'clock and, you know, join the march. I wasn't going to do no filming, you know. I'm not going to use it to promote our channel or anything like that. I wasn't aiming for that. It was more just to show my face and network with some of the guys and meet some of the guys there. But it's not to be, mate.
No, mate, it wasn't to be. Start from the beginning. So basically, this apparently all kicked off last night. I wasn't aware of it. I'm not really active on social media or anything, so it weren't until this morning Lee, the third free hammer, can't unfortunately be with us today. He posted in on our little group chat that the march is off, and I genuinely couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I thought, no, it can't be right. So I sort of went on then to Twitter and Facebook to try and see what was going on, and there you go, it was called off. It seems like there was an emergency meeting called by Sullivan. Two of the boys from the real West Ham fan action group called to a private meeting, and then they've come out of that meeting and decided to call off the march. And it seems like, trying to get to the bottom of it, they released a statement, a few pages of nonsense, basically saying that the reason they wanted to march was to get more communication from the board and to get discussion going. And they feel like they've achieved that. Like, that's bollocks. I'm sorry. Are you serious? Really? That statement that Brady put out with the, oh, we're going to do this and we're going to do that, it was rubbish. It was nonsense. So what? So, I mean, for me personally, and the reason that we said on this channel, for me, and I think for a lot of the fans that were going to march, they were going to march because they're sick of the ball. They're sick of the lies. They're sick of the spin. They're sick of no money being spent. And they want the ball gone. They want the club sold. Not, oh, we're going to put some pictures of the old crests in the programme and we're going to have flags come out with the old badges on at half time. Who cares? Genuinely, who cares? So what? We're going to talk about the badge.
It's a nice touch, but...
Yeah, so what? Oh, maybe we might possibly look into maybe moving the seats forward, possibly at some point in the future. Maybe we'll talk to contractors and see if it's possible, maybe, possibly... It's not absolute waffle. There was no substance whatsoever in that thing, and apparently that was enough. And then reading more into it, it seems the more underhand side of things of why they decided to call off the march was the club basically saying they will, if the fans don't march, they will donate £52,000 or something to the young girl Isla, and to help with her treatment. I'm not too familiar, to be honest, with the situation, but that's straight up blackmail. They are straight up blackmailing the fans, and it's fucking disgusting to use a little girl's life to blackmail the fans.
Sorry to jump in, mate. I know you've got loads to say, but it's all that. Like, I read that, in the next game, the Burnley game, I assume they're going to have it that she's on the pitch and that there's a ex-player to come out and give them a check. Why was that not done when she was mascot a few weeks ago with Mark? Like, if the club want to make these grand gestures, do it then. Like, and that would have eased some of this pressure. Like, it's just disgusting.
Or do it.
Literally. Because if if the West Ham fan group, like, this is the only sympathy I have for the real West Ham fan group, if they didn't take that deal, West Ham would have leaked it in a way that they turned down. You know, if it would have leaked, oh, we could have got 52 grand for this poor girl's life. It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
It is disgusting. And it's like, the thing is why aren't they doing it anyway? If they've got the money there to give away, why ain't they doing it? Why aren't they doing it regardless?
50 grand.
Why aren't they doing it anyway?
Yeah.
And like you say, so they could say, oh, they turned it down and this, that and the other. This, two things. First of all, I don't know why this poor girl was ever linked to the march and all this anyway. It's a bad thing because it's got, let's be realistic, it's got nothing to do with that. It's got nothing to do with it. And all it's done is give the club a weapon. Do you know what I mean? All it's done is give the club a stick to beat the fans with. And they are literally blackmailing the fans. And they're holding this girl's life at ransom. And it's fucking disgusting. I don't know how they can look themselves in the mirror and be okay with that. And the thing is you say, oh, they're not going to donate this money. If the fans group had come out and said, this is what they've done, they're blatantly straight up trying to blackmail us, so here's what we're going to do. Every fan that goes to that game, if we're going to ask them to donate £1 each, just £1 each. Everyone that turns up to the march, we're going to ask them to donate £1 each. That will cover that money. Easy. Do you know what I mean? It's a coward's way out. Yeah. It's a coward's way out. And it's disgusting. I'm not having it. I'm sorry. It's a joke. And the thing is as well, is this, I was talking to another one of my friends, Dan, and he was basically saying the same thing. And it's like, it's the hypocrisy of it. Like, they were basically setting the group up saying that they were unhappy. One of the main points that they were unhappy with the club was because they weren't consulting with their fans. So now this fans group has decided to cancel the march without any consultation whatsoever with its members. Why do these two people on their own speak for every West Ham fan? They don't.
That is what Jay said as well. Like, where do you want to be all open, etc., about the goings on, but they've been very coy, like, oh, we can't discuss this, what was said here with David Sullivan, and we can't. Why?
Yeah.
Why not?
Why?
You wanted an open situation.
Absolutely, mate. And it's a joke. And then the thing is as well, is like, those two people, what gives them the right to call off a march? Who gave them the authority to say, all West Ham fans, all of you, no, you're not allowed to march now. No, that's it, you can't march now. Who gave them the authority? Who said they were speaking for me or you or anybody else who wanted to march? It's a joke. And the only thing I can say now is it seems like there's another group that's popped up on Facebook called Crossed. God, I hope I get this right. I think it's Crossed Hammers. They've basically said they're still marching. I know Hammers Chat have come out and said they weren't consulted whatsoever about this decision. And as far as they're concerned, the march still goes ahead. West Ham Online, as far as they're concerned, the march still goes ahead. I was scrolling through Knees Up Mother Brown just before going live, and pretty much every single person on the thread on there has said they want to still go ahead and march. There's been, from what I've seen, I didn't get the whole way through the thread, there's been nothing official from Knees Up Mother Brown, whether they're backing it or stepping away, so I don't know what their stance is, but the desire is still there. And the only thing I can say is if you were planning on going and marching, go and march. Don't let this stop you. Don't let two people tell you that you can't. If you're not happy with the decisions that's been made, then you go and march.
Yeah, mate, I'm just really disappointed. You know, we, were portrayed like these people that don't go games, or because you're not angry, like angry all the time, basically. You're not a real fan. And I know Lee, especially Lee from this channel, is very much a like sit on the fence sort of guy. But can anyone sit there and say, like, Lee's not a real West Ham fan? Like, do you know what I mean? The guy goes every single game and spends a lot of money. Because he wasn't particularly behind the march or was prepared to give the board more time, is he a real West Ham fan? And that's what I feel like. How dare you judge people for being whether you're a real West Ham fan or not a real West Ham fan when you've backed down yourself? And I don't want to throw accusations at it here, but does it not look like something a bit devious has gone on there from both hands?
Mate, it stinks. It absolutely stinks. It stinks. And yeah, there's been accusations that they've been paid off. Put it out there. I said at the start of the show, I'm not going to filter myself, and I mean it. I'm not. Accusations out there, they've been paid off. It stinks of it. So, you know, who's to say? Could what have happened? I am so disgusted by the whole thing, and they built up all this momentum and all the rest of it, and then it took 10-minute meeting for them to turn around and do a massive U-turn and say no, we're not marching. And then, like I say, that's the only positive. Is there's other groups that's popped up now. I know there's other big social media platforms have said no, we're still marching. I know a couple of them are still in talks with the police for it to obviously be a legal and safe march. And let's say that as well. You know, we don't want this to get out of hand. You know, you don't want this to turn nasty. If you were planning on going and marching, I know a lot of people were planning on going with their family and taking their kids to march to show that they're unhappy with the way the club's being run. And I'm sorry, but for me, a couple-page letter from Brady that addresses pretty much nothing, with no real timescales, no mention whatsoever about where's the money gone, why haven't we strengthened the squad. One of the things that was brought up in the original meeting about a Sun column and bad PR, nothing brought up about that, nothing touched on, just, oh, well, maybe we'll look into... Again, it's all this. It's, we'll look into this. We'll look into that. We'll see about the possibility of doing this.
In regards to the main issue, mate, transfers and stuff and money, obviously that is the main issue that everyone's annoyed with. It's that, you know, that lie that was told, oh, we're going to look into the scouting. There's nothing wrong with the scouting if you don't spend the money at the end of the day. Players were identified. Carvalho, Lacazette, to name but a few, Dendonka in January. What was the Russian guy's name? Smolov or something like that.
Yeah.
They were identified, but you didn't want to spend the money. There's nothing wrong with the scouting system.
Yeah, it's the person in charge of the money don't want to spend it. 100% agree, mate. And it's the... Maybe, I think the only thing is, I think maybe the club has shot himself in the foot, and I really hope they have, because I feel like this is going to galvanise the fans even more. I really do. I feel like this is going to get them even more behind the march, and for me now, it's a straight up balled out. It doesn't matter. They're not, the promises they're making are flaky. Like I say, everything's maybe we'll do this, we'll look into doing that, possibly we can do this.
Ambitious.
There's nothing saying, right, this is what we are going to do. We are going to do this by this date. There's no accountability, and it's just lies and spin by Brady. And I tell you, if they haven't been, if that real West Ham fan group, if they haven't been paid off, she has played them unbelievably. She's just played them for absolute mugs.
Yeah, I know you had a great quote, mate, from someone that needs that mother brand, if you want to repeat that, because I thought that was a great quote.
Yeah, it was. There's a few of them that's been there, but they basically said 40 years undefeated, and all it took was a 10-minute meeting with Brady, and they're off with their tails between their legs. It's a joke. It's disgusting. I'm disgusted by it. I really am. I can't believe there was such momentum, and this felt like such...
But it's like they've basically sort of said, like, let's forget the march as well, right? Let's forget the march. But it's like they've literally sort of gone, okay, yeah, put your banners down now, put your flyers away, put all that horrible stuff away now. We're not going to talk about that anymore.
Yep, exactly. All of a sudden, everything's rosy, sunshine and lollipops.
Yeah, it's true. It's true, but like, take the march out of it. There's nothing like, oh, keep the banners going though, and you know, keep giving out the flyers and keep shouting a good fight to put the pressure on. It's literally gone boom, flat. And
it's, you know, like I say, I say it again. And believe me, if it was possible, I would be at that march. I'd be on a plane and I would be there. I don't care if a couple of people say, no, the march is called off. You don't speak for me. You don't speak for other people. You don't speak for other fans. If you were planning on going to that march and you were going to march yourself, go and do it. Don't let someone tell you can't. Go and do it. If you're not happy with the way things are going, go and show your support. Like I say, I know there's a lot of groups, there's a lot of other groups now saying, yeah, we're still determined, we're still going to march. Go and support them. Go and support them.
No, mate, I agree. It does all sort of lie back to that. What gives them guys the right to basically say, oh yeah, we're marching, we're not marching. No, there's a big following. By all accounts, there was going to be about 20,000 people in this march, 10 to 20,000 people.
Oh, it makes me sick. And did you see the article that the club put out straight after as well?
Yeah, we've come to an agreement or something.
The article basically says, oh, the fans are happy that we're progressing and we're listening to the fans and we're going to make changes. Bollocks. Fuck off. I'm sorry. It makes me sick. It makes me sick. I want him gone. I want him gone out of this club, and I can't listen to Brady. The
spin. She's such a clever spin doctor. I'm very surprised she's not in politics, to be honest, mate.
That's where she wants to be. That's where she wants to be. That's where she's going.
Yeah.
That's.
Is there anything else? Anything else on this obviously very controversial subject that you want to cover before we move on to the club we love, mate?
I'm probably forgetting things. I'm sure I am. I'm very, very angry and annoyed and disappointed. So I'm sure I'm forgetting loads of stuff. But yeah, I just had to get that off my chest. And like I say, as far as I'm concerned, and I'm sure yourself, mate, I don't want to speak for Lee because he's not here, but we're still well behind the march. We still are. I'm
still very much balled out as well, mate.
Yeah, 100%. Whatever a couple of people from some real West Ham fans group says, still well behind it. For me, it's still balled out. For me, it's still go and show your support, go and march. Nothing's changed. For me, nothing's changed. They've done nothing to show that anything's going to change. So as far as I'm concerned, it carries on. But yeah, I suppose there's other things to talk about.
Again, guys, anyone offended by any language, please, we give you your advice. Don't watch it if you don't want to watch that.
We'll be back to normal next week, hopefully.
And I'm sure Paul might put a little bit at the beginning of the video to say skip to this point if you want to avoid that. Maybe you should put that in, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get back to the club we love, mate. Because we're normal West Ham fans. Liverpool was the last game we played, mate. A hiding, really, weren't it? Absolute hiding.
Do you know? I only saw the first half, and the first half we were all right.
If only shot would have went in, which was an absolute fantastic effort. I think he had 2 in the first half, actually. It might have been a slightly different game.
Yeah, I mean, there were chances there. That Arnautovic's chance, when that left his foot, I thought that's a goal. I just thought that's a goal. It was a great save. Zabaleta had a good chance. He sort of dragged wide. Yeah, there was a couple of chances, and like I say, I only saw the first half live, and I thought we were well in the game. And then obviously the second half, unfortunately, I didn't see. I only saw the highlights. They sort of stepped it up a gear and sort of took us to pieces. But let's be realistic. They're going forward, at least they are phenomenal. Them and City are by far the best attacking teams in the league. 2 of the best attacking teams in Europe at the moment. And when you look at the lineup that started, you're talking Salah, Mane, Firmino against Zabaleta and Evra and Collins. There's only going to be one outcome. Do you know what I mean? There's only going to be one outcome. And again, that all ties back to investment in the squad. We didn't have the team to compete. We didn't have the team to compete.
I agree. It was nice to see Antonio get a goal. No.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. I've been a big critic of Antonio the last couple of weeks about his attitude and everything. But no, fair play. Come on. Like I say, unfortunately, I didn't see the second half live. I can only go by what I've read and the highlights. But he scored the goal, and I'm pleased for him. I'm glad he scored the goal, and I hope his attitude turns around, and I hope he progresses. I want to see him do well. So yeah, fair play to him.
Yeah, good to see Lanzini back as well. Evra didn't shine himself in much glory, to be honest with you.
Who's that? Sorry,
very slow. Oh, sorry, I said Evra didn't shine himself in much glory.
I mean, I don't know. What do you expect from, what is he, 36-year-old Patrice Evra? You know, I don't know. But I think there's more important games to come. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I don't know why, mate. As well, just one last thing on that game. Why did he drop Hernandez? Why did he change it?
I don't know. Obviously, trying to fit in Lanzini and then Everett came in. I don't know. I personally wouldn't have dropped him. I definitely wouldn't have dropped him. He's in form. I don't think if he'd have played, it would have changed the outcome of the game.
No.
But no, I agree, mate. I wouldn't have dropped him.
Yeah. So 3 points drop, but you know that was a bit of a freebie game, wasn't it? You know, anything we would have got out of that, a draw would have been a bonus. It's the next three that are the most important now, mate. And it's Swansea the weekend, and what, 20 quid on Andre Ayew to score?
Probably. It's, I mean, yeah, like you say, mate, these next three games are the important games we need to win. Unfortunately, I'm never confident in the games that we're supposed to win. I always feel like there's it's going to go wrong and there's a slip up there until the day before the game, which is today. But you know, and then I start getting optimistic on the morning and everything. But big games. It's so close at the moment in the table. It's unbelievable. We're 3 points off the relegation zone, 7 points off seventh. It's crazy how close the league is this year.
BBC reckon that it'll be about 37 points will get you safe this year. And what's that? 2 wins and a draw. We can do it in these 3 games if we want it enough.
You'd like to think we will. You'd like to think we will. I hope we do. I hope we will. And these are games that we should be winning. You know, yeah, we have got a threadbare squad. We've got an ageing squad, but we should have enough. I don't think this squad, again, I don't even want to say it because we've heard it before as West Ham fans, too good to go down. I don't want to say that. But I do think we're good enough to stay up. Let's put it that way. Yeah, I think that's a decent way of putting it.
Yeah, I think there's worse as well. Like, I'm not saying we've been brilliant this year at all. We've had games of brilliance, but you know, West Brom are gone. I expect Swansea to go. Stoke are not great. You know, there's a lot of bad teams, really bad teams out there. Yeah. Predictions, mate?
I genuinely don't know.
I can see a 1-1. We got quite a good record up there, though. If Andy Carroll was fit, he's always good for a goal up there.
Yeah, if he's not, though. So, I don't know. Sorry, mate. It's just Daisy screaming. Okay.
Yeah, that's my daughter screaming. If anyone's wondering if that's Lee locked in the cupboard.
No, I don't know. Predictions. Let's say 2-1. I'm gonna be optimistic and say 2-1 West Ham. Why not?
Arnie's in good form. You know, he's a great player to watch. Old Arnie as well, isn't he?
Oh yeah, fantastic. And I'd love to see Arnautovic, Lanzini, Hernandez, Mario, even Antonio. You know, I'd love to try and if we played all of them, we're getting very, very, very attacking. But I'd love to see it just to see what we can do against the teams that are struggling. Do you know what I mean? If we can sort of take teams apart, and I think with those players, the personnel's there to do it. I'd love to see us try.
I agree, mate. There's some good, you know, interchanging. There's some good link-up play with like your Lanzinis, your Marios. Another thing, just on Liverpool game, mate, they made a point that if it was your mate and my mate, old Fat Frank, said that, you know, they shouldn't have started Lanzini and Mario in that game because, you know, there's no muscle there. What do you make on that if they were to start against Swansea then?
I think it can work. I think it's fine. I know what he's saying. If you were playing Lanzini kind of in an advanced role, and then say Mario with Kouyaté next to him, or even Noble next to him, and then you add Arnautovic and Antonio playing, that's giving you quite a lot. Yeah, Antonio and Arnautovic would be playing on the wings, but they give you strength. Do you know what I mean? They can always drop in and help out. I don't know. I'd quite like to see that.
I'm a big fan of Mariotto. I have to say, like, I would love us to sign him. I think he's a really nice player. He wasn't great against Liverpool, but then no one really was. Do you know what I mean? It's very hard to, give players any slack for Liverpool game because, like you say, mate, that team is unbelievable. They're one of my favourite teams to watch. Like, when you're watching as a neutral, them and Man City are just unbelievable to watch. I know you just said it yourself. A few little bits of news, mate, that we've not covered because we haven't had a show. The font went, mate, 5 million. What do you make of that?
I think we've done well to get 5 million for him. That's what we paid for him, isn't it? Something like that.
I thought we paid 12 for him.
Jeez, did we?
Didn't we pay 12 in January?
Did we pay 12 million?
January last year.
Well,
we paid 12.
You might be right.
For a centre half.
You might be right, mate. But even still, I still think we got a decent sum for him. 5 million. He hasn't played for ages. Been injured. Apparently, he was refusing to play a reserve game before he left to China. And the thing is to be fair, I genuinely don't hold nothing against him, especially after you had the ball come out saying, like Sullivan coming out saying his sons begged him not to sign him. Why would he want to stay at West Ham after that? Do you know what I mean? If you had that in your job, you wouldn't want to stay either. So I don't blame him for wanting to leave, especially to China, where I'm guessing he's going to earn an absolute fortune. So yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame it didn't work out. I don't think he was treated well by the club. From the sounds,
he started looking good. He started looking quite good towards the end of last year. I remember he was playing sort of more as a left centre back, and he was definitely getting involved in the attack a bit more. I'm not saying he had a great West Ham career, but he was starting to look better. But again, mate, that's £5 million that will be forgotten and not spent in the summer.
Yeah, 100%, absolutely 100% agree. Yeah, that £5 million will just disappear. And then we'll be told, oh, there's no value. You can't buy off the back of a World Cup.
I'll be very interested to see how much we get for Snodgrass as well, because I'm assuming that Snodgrass will go.
He's been saying, he's been making noises that he wants to come back.
Yeah, maybe under David Moyes he might get a new lease of life. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. When Snodgrass was here, he weren't good enough. He just weren't good enough. I was a critic of his. But I wouldn't be against him. He's gone out on loan and he's doing really, really well. Maybe the Championship's his level. But I wouldn't be against giving him another go and seeing what he can do.
No, I'd give him a pre-season, see whether David Moyes can, find a position for him. Yeah. Also, some other news, mate, coming out. Obviously, Declan Rice is going to be rewarded apparently with a 25 grand a week contract. Well done, mate. He had a fantastic season. Young Hammer of the Year.
Yeah, 100%. Well done to him. He deserves it. And I think you would have to say, of all the current crop of youth players, he's the one that's head and shoulders above the rest, and he's the one that has shown he can step into the first team and he can play well. He's ready. Definitely, he's ready. I think he's ready to be starting games, and I think we should be playing him. And yeah, congratulations, well done to him. Hopefully he signs the contract.
Yeah. Also, rumours that Lanzini is going to be offered more money as well, and rightly so. Apparently, mate, Lanzini is only on 35 grand a week.
It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. I hope we do give him a new contract.
I don't reckon he was earning. He probably wasn't earning a lot when he was at that original club that we had him on loan from.
I don't know. You say that. Why would he? He was playing in like Dubai, wasn't
he? Yeah, maybe.
Why would he? Why would he have even gone over there if it weren't for the money? I reckon he was on good money over there.
Yeah, maybe.
But no, he's in my opinion, along with Arnautovic, they're our two best players, and they should be paid for that. So yeah, I hope so, and I hope we keep him. Let's be honest. If we don't do anything to entice him to stay, he's going to leave in the summer.
Yeah.
And that I definitely don't want to happen. So I hope, he does sign a contract, and I hope he honours it if he does.
Yeah, because you've got like Hernandez on 140, apparently. I don't know how much Arnie's on. I imagine Arnie's on the 90 plus. Lanzini should be on the 90 plus. I know he can be a bit injury prone, but you know, when he's on the pitch, he is one of the most influential players we've got.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah. Was there anything else, mate, that we needed to discuss?
I don't think I've really seen any other news or anything that's been too interesting or too exciting. I've seen loads of links pop up, linking us to this player and that player and various youth players, but I haven't really paid much attention, to be honest. It's kind of getting to that point now, unfortunately, where I'll see, we've been linked with this player and linked with that player, and I don't even bother looking at it because I know that it's probably never going to happen anyway. So,
it's season ticket renewal season as well, mate, and it's so, you know, those rumours start coming out now.
Yeah, no, I'm not getting my hopes up about anything at all this summer. The only thing I'm going to hope for is that the board leave. That's the only thing I'm going to hope for this summer.
Yep. Only got a few questions because I put the tweet out quite late, you know, because we decided quite late. So there's only like 4 or 5 questions. Lewis says, if / when we lose tomorrow, do you think we are down? City, Arsenal, Chelsea to play, so that's 3 defeats, leaving us the rest to pick up 10 to 12 points, as 40 won't be enough, in my opinion.
I don't know.
I think 40 will be enough because they've all got to play each other.
Yeah, I think you're right, and it is so tight down there. But I think you said it earlier, mate, and I think you're right. I think there's worse teams than us. Do you know what I mean? I think there'll be teams below us. So.
SB, sort of similar question. How confident are you that will stay up?
I'm very confident.
I'll tell you in 3 games' time.
Yeah, that's a good point. I suppose everything could change very quickly, but I'm confident. I'm confident.
Yeah, I'm confident. You know, we have been looking good, and you know, what is it? We've only lost about 2 or 3 in about 14 games.
Yeah, we're
and then
sorry, mate. No, we're looking hard to beat at the minute. Anyway, like you say, we've only lost a couple. Yeah, we've had quite a good run. I think we'll be all right. I really hope we are. Like you say, ask us next week and the week after. We'll see how we do in the next couple of games. These are the games that matter. These are the important games. So that could change a lot. We could either be flying high in the top half of the table, or we could be way back in it. But I think we'll be all right.
Yep. Serif says, West Ham and drama seems to be a match made in heaven. Do you miss the good old days when we all worried about relegation and keeping our time?
I think it's a different, like, just the game and everything's changed, you know, with all, like, social media and everything and the internet and all that. Like, there's drama's a lot easier to come by. The thing is,
so I like the. Sorry, mate. I was going to say I like the fact that we can actually keep hold of players now. You know, unless ridiculous bids come in and like what seems to happen with West Ham, it's not so much that we can't keep them; it's they become disheartened that they're not being built upon.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. And I think I do think though, like the social media and all that has a big part to play. Can you imagine what Twitter would look like and what Facebook and all the rest of it would look like when Terry Brown was in charge? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, all that stuff wasn't around then, but I'm sure if it was, it'd be quite similar to now. Do you know what I mean?
Well, back then it was just the pub talk, you know, but pub talk, like you say, mate, is on the internet now. Do you know what I mean? Pub talk is with every other West Ham fan in the world that follows you on Twitter.
Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know. I don't know. I think it's I think it's different. It's a different time.
Yeah. He also says, how many goals will Ayew score against us on Saturday, and do you think he will celebrate? I do.
I reckon he will score because he's got a knack of it, and I reckon he will celebrate. I don't see why he wouldn't. I don't see why he would really have any loyalty to West Ham. So maybe he wouldn't celebrate. I don't know. But if he does, I wouldn't really care, to be honest. Like, It wouldn't really bother me. What about you?
Not really, mate. He's not. You wouldn't say he's a West Ham legend or anything like that, or had a real impact. You know, he scored a few scrappy goals for us that helped us, and he scored actually a bit of a worldie this year, didn't he? When it against Palace, he scored that worldie. But yeah, one last question. Victor Flores says, "Can you guys please explain to me what's wrong with Moyes? He's saying Chicharito has been key to keep having good results, and we have a great attack with Arnautovic and Chicharito. He's been scoring, yet Moyes leaves him on the bench. Why?"
No idea, absolutely no idea. You know, we covered it a little bit earlier. I wouldn't have dropped him. I think Luke said he wouldn't have dropped him either. I don't know. He obviously had some kind of game plan in mind for that game that didn't work, obviously. Hopefully he learns from it and moves on. You know, it'll be if he plays him in the next 3 games and he does well, fair enough, lesson learnt. You know what I mean? Maybe he decided he wanted to try and be more solid and only play one up front against a team like Liverpool who are so good going forward. And if you are only going to play one up front, Arnautovic has been doing the job better than Hernandez, so I can kind of understand his reasoning there. Like I say, I wouldn't have done it myself, but I can kind of understand what he was doing. But yeah, we'll see if he does it against the sort of the lesser teams. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. A little roundup of some of the other news in football, mate. Obviously, Man City tore Arsenal a new one twice this week.
Yeah.
That is a club in disarray, Arsenal. It really is. They're just not the same frightening team anymore, are they? They're just a bit of a joke team at the moment.
Do you think Wenger will go at the end of the season?
Maybe. You know, if they exit the Europa League, I think they've got AC Milan, haven't they?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I can't remember who they've got, to be honest. But you know, if they don't win that, I can see him going. But you know, when you watch Arsenal fan TV, they appear that he's very arrogant and comes out with comments like that. He's in control of his own destiny. Basically, like, you can't fire me.
Interesting. I don't know. I think he has to go. I think he has to go. He's been at the club. Yeah, you can't deny what he's done for Arsenal and what he's done for the club, and he's obviously been a great manager over the years. But everyone has their day. Everyone has their time to step down. Ferguson was the same at Man United. Do you know what I mean? Everyone has their time to step aside, and his time's come. Let's be honest, his time's come, and I think he has to go.
Someone, I think it was BBC reporter, made the point, like, he was the Pep 10 years ago. He's not that anymore. Yeah, just some other Premier League news, mate. Obviously, Manchester United beat Chelsea as well. It was some really good games this weekend, actually. Tottenham did us a bit of a favour by beating Palace as well. Some of the results really went our way. The Bournemouth-Newcastle one was 2-2. I remember that one, which was a good result. But also, in other news, I know we always like talking about other sport, just to sum up as well. Hi, Chris Eubank. How you doing? How's your career doing now?
That was hilarious. It was so funny. Like, the best thing for me weren't even the fight. It was after the fight. It was seeing Prince Nazim Ahmed absolutely slaughtered him. Like, he absolutely destroyed him. Yeah, hilarious. And you know, if we're going to talk seriously about it,
great fight though. Great fight.
It was a decent. It wasn't a great fight. It was a decent last couple of rounds. Like, it was just just swinging at the end. It was just a war. Yeah,
I think Groves sort of taught him how to box a little bit.
He did, 100%, mate. He did. It was a great performance from Groves. It was.
Very underrated, Groves, though. He's very underrated.
And at the end, obviously, fighting with a dislocated shoulder as well, fighting with one arm the last couple of rounds. But let's like, being serious about it, and I think everyone said the same thing. Eubank Jr. is never going to go further with his dad running things, with his dad in the corner. It just ain't going to happen. And like they come out and said he doesn't need a trainer. He's got enough natural ability. Come on, mate. Come on. Do us a favour.
No, but you need, like, I'm not a professional boxer and I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I know ins and outs of it, but it's like you need someone in that corner to be like going, this ain't working, mate. We need to try this now.
I can't remember. I can't remember who said it. It might have been Frock, I'm not sure. Someone said it anyway, but they basically said, like, he needs a trainer and a manager, not a cheerleader.
Yeah.
He needs someone to not be telling him he's the best in the world and he can do anything and this, that and the other. He needs someone to show him where he's going wrong and teach him how to improve.
Yeah. Like the guy who's training Groves now, Barry McGuigan's son, seems like, you know, he is the next real deal. Do you know what I mean? In terms of training, like he seems like a real good trainer, and that's what Groves did as well. Groves has changed his trainer quite a few times. He's had Adam Booth, he had that Paddy guy for the Carl Frock fight, and it didn't work out. And now it seems like he's changed and got a real good trainer again, and it's sort of got him down the right path again.
Yeah,
which is great to see. Deontay Wilder this weekend. I just want him to win because I want to see the Anthony Joshua fight with him. You know, Victor Ortiz, he should get through that. And then is it next week or end of the month is Anthony Joshua in it? So yeah, there's some real good fights coming up. Some real good fights. Good fight season at the minute. Yeah, that's it really, mate. In terms of news and stuff, you know, Winter Olympics is over, but if you want to go out in Benfleet, you can do some sledding and some curling, like, or all around the country at the minute, I think. But yeah, that's it. That is episode 71. First time we've ever swore live.
Yeah.
But let us know your opinions, guys, on how you feel. Are you still believers in the Real West Ham fan group, or are you sort of angry and disappointed with their actions? And how do you feel about the club using that 50 grand, you know, ransom money? Really, isn't it, mate?
Yeah.
How do you feel? How do you feel about all that? Give us your predictions for Swansea and the rest of the season. We'll be back hopefully next week with episode 72. Until then, guys, come on, you irons. Keep believing. Remember, guys, don't matter where you are and who you are, where you're from, how many games you go a year, you are a real West Ham fan. Let's go.
Cheers.